So you're looking to get your first media marketing client of the year for 2020. If you're looking to get your first media marketing client or your first client as a media marketer, it's definitely important to understand the ways that you can outreach to these clients and even understand where you need to qualify them to see if they're able to work with you. Now, I'm going to show you two of the best ways to qualify your clients and then find your clients. Now, qualifying really doesn't mean qualify them when you meet them or when you're looking for your client. It does mean you need to understand who do you want to be your ideal client. And if you really don't know who that is, you should really sit down and write down that qualification. Now, I have these steps of these qualifications on my piece of paper here, and I wrote down who my ideal client is, how much they have to make a month, and how flexible they need to be budget-wise for me to expand and succeed. Now, why this is super important for the qualification aspect is because you need to understand that in the beginning stages of the marketing strategy, besides closing that client, in the beginning stages, you need to build up as much data as possible as a media marketer. You need to understand that you're going to be running ads that aren't going to be giving out high results of ROI clearly, and you need to understand that. And why this is important is because it kind of gives you a little bit more understanding of how much money you need to market and utilize the Facebook algorithm. It's more of a bartering system or a betting system where you're betting to spend more money to get your ad seen the most. And it's just, that's what it is. Understanding that is truly important when it comes to working with your certain clients. Because if you have a cheap client who just can just afford you for the time being, but really can't afford the amount of ad spend that needs to be done to give them a return, then you're going to have massive problems in your marketing strategy. Not only that, you're going to have massive problems in giving them great results. And that's the whole point of media marketing. It doesn't really matter if you have 2 clients or 4 clients or 1 client. You need to give them the best results possible because it now allows you to expand in the near future. So that's one of the recommendations that we're going to break down is the qualification process when it comes to qualifying a lead or even qualifying a client. But then we're going to go for the cold outreach process and how you can use cold outreach websites to find your ideal client. Now, I'm going to be primarily focusing on the e-commerce space because that's somewhere I work in, and it's the place that I feel is a little bit more flexible. So if you're looking to find your next potential client off the e-commerce, route or niche, this is the place where you can find all the information you can. So let's get straight into it and kind of talk about the next steps of you finding your first client in 2020. So I'm going to show you guys how to find your first client in 2020 and the ways I'm able to find my e-commerce clients when I was first starting off. Now, this is really important because you need to understand that you have a list of leads that you can outreach to, a list around 10 million plus leads. So there's more than enough opportunity for you to find a company that needs your resources. Now, the ways that you do so in the outreach process, I'll make a video about that later on. But in the sense of finding a client and doing some due diligence or collecting data to figure out what they have to offer, this is the best way I can show you guys. So there's this website here, myip.ms. Great website because I've used it to find my ideal clients, and actually that's how I was able to find my first e-commerce client. But it's definitely a great website to use. Now, with this website, you can put limitations to how many visitors they get a month and what's their range look like. And this gives you a little bit more flexible wiggle room to understand who's who's companies that already have people doing marketing for them and who's the companies that don't. And so I kind of chose this number because this is a reasonable number. That means that store is probably bringing in $20,000 to $30,000 a month if they're able to sell in that mark. Now, let's say we go to the 5th number. Let's find a brand here. You're going to have this here called Link Soul. This company right here is what we're looking at. Now, the ways you kind of do your due diligence and understanding of stores like this even run any ads is first you can look if they have a pixel, which gives you an example. You'll download a link that allows you to see other people's pixels and see if they even have pixels on their pages. This page does, so unfortunately we can't pitch the thought of them on pixels. But what we can do is understand that we can still outreach to understand if they're doing any marketing efforts to contribute to that. So we come to Facebook. It's opening up and we're looking at the number. Fairly reasonable amount of people check this business out. Seems like it's a brick and mortar business, but they're moving to the digital space, so it's probably a startup. Now, what you're going to go to is a beautiful platform called Facebook Ads Library. Now, what makes this so beautiful is because you get to really understand who's marketing, who's not. So, like this, we're able to go through these brands and kind of see if they're running any ads. Not only that, you're kind of able to see how many ads they're running of the same ad and if they're doing different targeting for each ad. Now, as you can see, they switched up the headliners, and they switched up the words that they use and the deals that they'll be offering. That's really great, but there's a lot that I see here that can get help, and a lot of advertisement needs help regardless. So let's say if we were to collect this data and I want to outreach to this company, let them know what they could be doing better. Obviously they have enough data and enough ads ran to understand that the importance of this. So this is where it's important to understand your stuff. Now, if I wanted to, let's say we find another company. Let's find another company that doesn't even have any ads running. Let's see if we can find a good company. What's a company? Okay, we have a company like this. They have a Facebook pixel running, and they sell clothes. Okay, great. They have a Facebook pixel running. We go to their Facebook and we say, okay, we want to understand if they're running any ads. As we can see, they're not running any ads, like not one. It's a great way to reach out. Now, the problem that comes into this is how can you find these people? How can I reach out to this company? Usually everyone wants to go to the contact us portion of the page, but that doesn't always work at all. So we go to contact us. It's really not a lot for us to, engage on or really work with. So we're going to go to a platform I love to use called Rocket Reach. Now, what makes Rocket Reach so important is all you'll be doing is putting the company's name into the search, and it will give you a clear search of who is the potential CEO. A company like this is probably a little bit hidden, not so well known, so it makes sense, a lot of sense. Let's find a well-known brand. Let's try this one. So we have a well-known brand like this, Alio Yoga. Amazing. They have Facebook pixels running. They might even be running Facebook ads, but this looks like a professional store. So you can get a lot of data collected from this. You can understand how they run their ads, how they market. To me, it looks like they have an in-house team. And this is just minute, small things you can just tell about their website to understand them a little bit. And then instead of us checking, we're going to check if they even run ads. So as we can see, they run 220 resulting ads. So they run ads. They're currently testing new ads and seeing what works, what doesn't work. But they look professional. They look like they have ads running, which is amazing. Now, how can I get outreach to these people? It's easy. You put in the business into Rocket Reach, and it allows you to not only get access to the company's name, but the company's team. understand how much money they've made, and how you can outreach to them. So you can see here, I have now access and emails and names to tons of important people into that business that now I can make some initiative contact to get in front of these people. So that's really it for today on the aspect of, finding clients and finding your first e-commerce client. But this is probably the easiest process to go, besides, talking to somebody to work with them for free. But if you're going to be prospecting or, qualifying your leads and looking for what leads work best for you, this is the best process that you can go. Using this website to not only find your leads, but then doing your due diligence and research to see if they even need your service instead of assuming. From that, you can find what they need help in and then just get into direct contact with them and show them what you have to offer. Now, in a later video, I can show you the simple ways that I'm able to gain leads through a simple emailing cold outreach process, and how you're able to contact them without ever having to pick up the call. Alright guys,